The following announcement has been paid for by Perched on the Top Rope.
From Montreal to Memphis, parlez-vous français? Tell all the girls the Rougeau's on their way. A call of pretty boys, we're not a musclehead. We hate that long-haired look, we like that preppy look instead. We're all American boys, all American boys. We're all American boys. I'm the Mountie, I'm handsome, I'm brave, I'm strong. I'm the Mountie, and I force along. You can try to run, but you can never hide. The Mountie always gets his man.
Hey, wrestling fans, this is Jacques Rougeau, the Quebecers, the fabulous Rougeau brothers, the Mountie, and you're watching Perched on the Top Rope with Lee Walker 3.
Welcome, everyone, to Perched on the Top Rope. And as you heard from that show opener today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Jacques Rougeau on the show. Jacques, welcome back to Perched on the Top Rope. How are you?
Oh, Lee, I'm fantastic. You know, it's although it's a blue skies everywhere. I'm walking on clouds today. I got to tell you, this is amazing what's happening.
Well, I had some friends actually text me from Florida that they had seen you, the guy on my shirt, Adam Copeland, Hulk Hogan, and GSP at a arcade thing. And you guys, the four of you, partnering with Player One Amusement and Premier Arcade Games. Jacques, you have your very first arcade machine.
That's amazing, isn't it? Jesus, that's amazing. I wish you would have been there, Lee, you know, because it's this convention here is called IAPA, and it's so big. It's like there's three big buildings. It's like three conventions in one, and it's all the owners of theaters and the owners of arcades around the world that come here, like even from Europe, from Dubai, from North America, and they come to see what are the latest games that are on the market in the arcade world, in the amusement world, and they had us on Player One stage for 4 days. It was just so amazingly. We were all signing pictures and all in line, and beside me I had GSP, you know, one of my idols, you know, of MMA, and then you had Hulk beside him, and then you had Adam Copeland Edge, and all four of us, we spent hours and hours and hours, and it's amazing how the people just kept coming, and you know, and you know, Lee, I think in life it's important to know your position, and I know mine. You know, I've done 10 years in the WWF. I did 50 years in the wrestling business, but my notoriety is not like these three guys. These three guys beside me, they were just so freaking awesome. Like, you know, just the GSP, you know, MMA champion, world champion. Just people were just amazed to see him. And then Hulk, you know what? I don't. No need to say nothing about Hulk. It's just amazing. People were in line. People would had costumes of Hulk waiting for him to see him. And Adam Copeland, what a nice guy. What a popular guy. So me to be with these three major superstars, it just let's put it this way, Lee. I didn't help them with my notoriety, but they helped me. Let's put it this way. They brought me up to a level, and the way it worked out, it was so fun. The promoters did such a great job. It was a line where people had to come, and the first one they had to see was me. So just in case some of them didn't want to see me, they had to see me. So I looked as important as all the other three. So it was just amazing to have our machines behind us, you know, and you know, I'll show you this here. And this is amazing. This belt here is like 14 pounds, and it's like made to my name, and with all kinds of rhinestones and the province's flag and the country's flag, and this belt is just custom made. It's authentic, and it's signed by my name, and they made thousands of them because my arcade game is going to be around the globe.
And fans, we're going to show that arcade off right now.
What you gonna do, brother, when player one, Tony and Joe run wild, if I can tear the shirt off, on you? Yes, sir! I did it. There we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is taking off. It's like jumping on another lightning bolt.
Hey, it's me, Radar Superstar Big Tart, and I am here at IAMPA unveiling our new arcade games. The belt drop, the prize drop, and it's pretty exciting. You know, it's pretty crazy here.
It's amazing. I mean, my gosh, when they pulled the curtain down, I saw it. I was blown away. I did not expect to come alive. I mean, I saw it. It just was like Hulkamania. Like, I got the rub again, brother. I feel like it's 1984 and Hulkamania's taking off. It's like jumping on another lightning bolt. It is amazing.
Myself, when I was a kid back in the day, that I would be with these legends. I mean, I would not have believed it. I mean, to participate to a project like this with Hulk Hogan, The Edge, Jacques Rougeau, it's Monty. It's just amazing. If you were told 10-year-old Adam that he'd be standing here and unveiling an arcade game where you can grab a championship belt with my logo signed by me, let alone be surrounded by all of these guys, it's kind of mind-blowing. There's still moments within my life, even at 50 years old, where I have to pinch myself, and this is another one of them.
This is just amazing. I can't believe it. I'm so honored to be here with such greats. You're talking about the Edge, and you're talking about GSP, and Hulk's my favorite person in the whole world that created wrestling many years ago. And now all the kids in our society, because of YouTube and internet, they know all my characters, the fabulous Rougeau brothers, and the Quebecers, and the Mountie always gets his man. And it's amazing. Well, look at the amazing IAPA. It's been amazing. Look at the crowd that's going on around us. Can you pan a little bit? Look at that. Look at that. Everyone's here to see the best talent, wrestling talent in the world. We're launching an amazing product. We're proud to partner with the Cotillo Group and with Premier Arcade Games to bring you these wrestling superstars, along with George St. Pierre, Player One Amusement Group, coming at you hard for IAPA.
Jacques, those machines are beautiful, and fans, the reason why Jacques showed off that championship belt is because that's the prize you can win.
Amazing.
This is a first time ever arcade machine where you can put your money in and get the opportunity to win a championship belt. Jacques Rougeau, Adam Copeland, GSP, Hulk Hogan. Each championship belt, Jacques, is unique to each person. And your belt is so beautiful, matching the machine with the blue in everything.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, Lee. And you know what's awesome, really awesome about this is these belts are not cheap. like these belts are made. It's incredible. When they presented me my belt, I went like, I took it in my hands, 14 pounds, and I looked at the details of it. And my belt is one of the prettiest belts of them all four. I got everybody's saying that because of the blue or the color and the way it was done, the black around my name, but it's so fantastic, and they're the belts, but they're going to be retailing $2,000 if people want to buy it, because it's authentic signed belts and it's original. There's only it's never been done nowhere else. You're never going to find this nowhere else. So the people who put the $5 in the machine or whatever, and they get a chance to win this belt, it's going to be just awesome. And in the years to come, there's going to be more wrestlers that have been coming in every year. They're going to bring in some new wrestlers, and so I was just privileged to be one in the first four, and it's amazing. You know, I've been putting a lot of stuff on Facebook, and a lot of people are very, very happy, but nobody's happy like I am. You know, I actually slept with my belt last night. I never thought I'd say this, but I kicked my girlfriend out of my room and I slept with my belt. But it was like it's just an amazing time in my life. And you know what? To have this recognition for a fan, for a wrestling fan, to walk in Tel Aviv or to go to Dubai or to go on vacation and walk in an arcade room and to see Jacques Rougeau, the Mountie, you know, and see the belt and everything. And all these videos are so nice because the belt is like on a little table in the machine. And then you got this giant TV in the back. And we did all our promos. Like, you know, we went into studio, all four of us, and did our promos like, you know, hey, you think you're tough enough to get my belt, you know, and challenging. And there's a sensor on the machine. So when you pass in front of the machine in the arcade room, I start talking. And then when you play the machine, I can't remember the exact thing that I say. It's something like, zip, try again, you know, and all those things, you know, and then you got the when you win. Then I do a speech when you win, like, hey, I underestimated you. You know, now congratulations. And so all these voices come out of the machine, and it's absolutely amazing that these people immortalize the Rougeau name around the globe. And it's something that I was wanting for so long, but I never thought it would be in the amusement game.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And one thing that, you know, you had brought up in a jokingly manner that, you know, these other three have wild recognition. All three in retrospect are Hall of Famers. Jacques, do you think that nod for you and your brother in WWE will come now that things have been changing with WWE?
You know what? I'm gonna leave that to the man upstairs. You know, it's just I'm gonna leave it to karma. I'm gonna leave it to I personally I hope it's gonna happen. I think we got our place there. But you know, it's all gonna depend on the fans. But you know what? To be honest with you, Lee, what just happened to me is better than any Hall of Fame I could ever get. Because even if you're in a Hall of Fame and you're recognized in a Hall of Fame for those who read it or knowledged about it, it's not like walking in an arcade room and seeing this beautiful belt and seeing and living and hearing my voice. And so this for me is my Hall of Fame. And I'm so happy that the Rougeau name now is going to be seen around the world. And there's so many people that know the Rougeaus from my great uncle to my uncle Johnny Rougeau, to my dad Jacques Rougeau, to my brother Raymond Rougeau. There's so many Rougeaus. We were 4 generations, and you know, so there's a lot of people that know the name Rougeau. So when you and it's plain, it's so clear and plain when you come in. It's the prize job Jacques Rougeau, and then the name isn't big, the belt isn't big, the name isn't big on the belt, and so I'm you know, and it's so funny because Lee, you know, I got to tell you the truth. Since this has happened 3 days ago, I had a lot of people come up to me and say, wow, this is going to be great. You know, like, I'm happy you're going to be making some money with this and all that. And then I stop them right away and I tell them, you know, we all have our qualities in life, but I'm not a businessman. And to be honest with you, the money's nice, but I'm always going to fight for my money. I've always fight for my money. I never was a rich guy. I always worked to make ends meet. But for me, the most important thing is my kids. When they see this machine, my kids, and they go to the movie theaters in Montreal or whenever they go somewhere around the place or in Florida or anywhere, and they see this machine and they're with somebody and they'll be able. For me, it's so important, not important, but it means so much to me that if they're with a friend and they can say, "Hey, look at this, that's my dad's machine," and
Yeah.
that's worth more than any money you could give me.
All right. Hey, I do have to ask, you were down there for 4 days promoting the machine and with Adam, GSP, and Hogan. Did you play it?
I did not play my machine. You would not believe from the time that they had security bring us to the table, there was a lineup of people. Even in the Comic Con, I'd never seen that. So the promotion here was awesome. Player One and Premier Games, they just did such a great advertising because the minute we walked in, I had my machine behind me, and there was a lineup. I swear there was a lineup. There must have been 1,000 people, just waiting, lines everywhere, mostly to see Hulk and GSP and Adam Copeland. But the lines were so, and I was the first at the box at the table. So as soon as I got there, Tony Gattillo, who's a great friend of mine, he's responsible for all this. Him and Joe Belmonte are the two responsible guys that why we're in there, why everybody's in there. These two guys. And as soon as we got there, they say, "Come on, Jacques. Come on, Jacques. The line is big. Come on, Jacques. We got to." So we got in line. And from the time we were supposed to sign, like one day, we were supposed to sign 3 hours. And after 4.5 hours, we're still signing. And because they didn't want to disappoint the people. But then, people got tired. It's so funny because GSP is not used to this at all. Like GSP, when he signs for an hour, half hour, that stuff. But it was funny to see, when we got back in the car after, in the limo bringing us back to the hotel, GSP was sitting in the back and Edge was beside me, and GSP said, "Guys, I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you do this." He says, and he was like, "I'm going to bed now. I'm going to bed." And but it was amazing that so I didn't have time to play my machine. But you know what? I had so much fun meeting the fans, and so many times Lee was funny because I'd see the eyes looking at Hulk. And looking at GSP and looking at Edge, they'd come in front of me, and I'd look at them. I'd say, "You don't have to take anything from me, I had pictures, and then they'd look at me and say, no, we want your picture too." I say, "Oh, you're so kind, you're so kind," and it happened a few times actually. But knowing your place in life is okay. So I know that this opportunity for me, it means a lot more to me than it does to them. Because I'm grabbing this, I'm living this, and I'm so grateful, and to the Premier Arcades and Player One Group Entertainment. I owe them actually in wrestling, Lee. I'm gonna tell you a secret. In wrestling, in our days, you didn't have a pension, like you say, or after you finish wrestling, that's it. You got your last match, you got your last paycheck, and that's it. So a lot of the wrestlers, they have a hard life after wrestling because they're used to this income, they're used to having the nice life and everything, and then they finish with nothing. And so this coming into my life, like I said, I've always worked hard for my kids and then to survive. 30 years later, I started my own school. I did my own wrestling promotion. I always fought for my spot in this world, but I worked very, very hard, Lee. I wish I could tell you how hard. I worked very, very hard, and I couldn't count the hours. And this here, it's like I heard Hulk at one point. He said that was so funny. He says, "Hey, brother," he says, "I'm so happy." He says, "I'm gonna be making money while I'm sleeping." And I stopped to think of that for a second. I said, "Hey, that never happened to me. Making money while I'm sleeping. I'm used to working hard for my money. So it's a blessing. So it's a blessing from the sky. It's just awesome. Yeah."
So since you didn't get to play the machine, the first time you see one in public, are you going to try and win your own belt?
Oh, for sure. I'm just gonna play. I want to see if I'm good enough because it's a pair of scissors that cut. And the belt is like. So the way it's going to work now, there's two ways it was going to work, and one way is like they were going to hang the belt from a little rope, and the scissors come, and if you press the button at the right time, the scissors are going to cut the rope. But now they're saying that the belt is too heavy. So what they're going to do is they're going to put the belt in the front on a table,
Mhm.
and if you cut the rope at the right place, it's the door that opens instead of the belt that falls. It's going to be the door that opens, and when the door opens, then you go and you grab that belt that's on the podium there, and you just take it out of there. So I want to do it just to see if I'm good enough to get that belt, but I think there's a lot of odds and a lot of chance in those games. Like, I think that's what I always thought of every game that was in the arcade business and all that stuff. So I think being at the right place at the right time, putting the money in, I think you may be the lucky one.
I know I can't wait to find those machines because I am going to be like a kid all over again and be putting money in like crazy.
Go
The
ahead,
chance,
put that money. Show me the money, like they say. Show me
yeah,
the money.
the
But you
chance to
gotta.
win a championship belt like that.
I'm just thinking, Lee, I can't imagine how many people are going to want to have the four belts, like, to collect all belts, and that's why it's
Yeah,
so amazing. That's why it's so amazing for me because uh, even though I'm not as a big superstar as they are, as the other three, they're going to want the collection. People are going to want to have all four belts. So, so,
yeah.
so I'm going to be the one. So I'm going to be the one winning in this, like really honestly. So that's why it's amazing. And yeah, it's amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I didn't think about that to be honest with you because I mean, I'm a figure collector, but there are belt collectors out there. And if you're like me with action figures, if there's one, but if there's five, you want all five. In this case,
Exactly.
with the four, yeah, you want all four.
And that's why I'm so lucky that they chose me. This guy in New York, Joe Belmonte, he has this player one company, Premier One, and it's funny. It just so happened that he was a fan. He fell in love with the jailhouse match I had with Big Boss Man. And since then he was a fan of mine. Like, as a he knew me as the Fabulous Rougeau brothers. Because I was there for 10 years. But the Mountie was really his character that I love, and that's why if you look at the machine, you'll see I'm dressed up pretty much as a Mountie. Not the same thing because of copyrights, but just about the same thing. You'll recognize me as the Mountie, and that's what he wanted to produce. He wanted to produce the Mountie out there. So, and I'm thinking, the Mountie was so popular over in Europe and other countries, and when I had that run with Big Boss Man and Davey Boy Smith and Bret the Hitman Hart and all those nice runs I had as the Mountie was amazing. So, and you know what? It's like the Fabulous Rougeau brothers was the Rougeau brothers was okay. But when we turned heel with Jimmy Hart, the Fabulous Rougeau brothers for 2 years, then we got hotter because we lived off the people that knew us as the Rougeau brothers, but now we were the Fabulous Rougeau brothers, so we had the double people knew us twice in different ways. But when I became the Mountie, so now I had the Rougeau brothers behind me, the Fabulous Rougeau brothers behind me, and now I had the Mountie. So that's when, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. My point is like, from one character to another, I kept growing and growing and growing more popular because people knew me more and more after like 10 years being there. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I started watching when you were a heel as the Fabulous Rougeaus. And then I remember you coming in as the Mountie, and oh my gosh, the heat you had. The heat you had was unreal.
That was funny. I was a good. I'm not gonna say the word, but anyway, I was. But people, it's so funny when people, and I had a lot of people come to me. It was funny because I swear I had a lot of people come up and tell me that line like, "Oh man, I used to love to hate you, man. I used to love to hate you." And then now that I've grown up, I used to hate you when I was young, but with time I learned to love to hate you, like, and now I love you to death. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and it's also like a sign that hey, you did your job right.
Yeah,
You know?
Jimmy Hart had a lot to do with that, and Jimmy Hart was so amazing and all that stuff. But you know what? I wanna send an invitation to everybody out there that ever watched the Rougeau brothers or the Fabulous Rougeau brothers or the Mountie or the Quebecers, and just go out there and try to win this belt. So this is amazing. This weighs 14 pounds, and and this is the pride of the Rougeau family now for the years to come. And but it's an amazing belt. It looks so nice, and I wish all you fans to go out there in the arcade rooms. And if you don't have my machine out there, well, talk to the owner of the arcade and just tell him to get in touch with Player One Entertainment Group and have that machine come in. And there'll be more and more, like I said, over the years, more people coming in, and it'll just be a fun thing for a nice collection for people who like it. And I look back, Lee, and I think that a lot of the old things are coming back in life in style. Like the old is becoming new again, and
Yes.
so anyway, I invite everybody to try this machine and win this belt. But you know what? I got to tell you something, Lee. And this is what I wanted to finish with this conversation about the belt. This belt here, it means so much more than a wrestling belt. For me, this belt, it means it means one part of the belt is the Intercontinental title. The other part of the belt is the WWF Tag Team Championship. 4 times that I won, 3 times with the Pierre Carolette and as the Quebecers, and 1 time with my brother Raymond in Montreal. And this belt also means beating Hulk Hogan in Montreal, being the only Canadian to ever beat Hulk Hogan, the only one by a clean pinfall, 1, 2, 3. But you know what it means more to me? What not everybody knows is that bully incident that I had in the WWF, and I had to survive the British Bulldog. And I'm not a fighter in life. I'm not a real fighter, and I had to. And I don't know where it came from. Maybe my father, the pride of my father. I was so proud of my father and didn't want to deceive him, and I came out of that as a champion. Out of that, but the most important signification, and I'm going to tell you guys, it may not be related, but it's okay because this is my belt, so I'm just sharing it with you. My girlfriend 2 weeks ago, she came out of a 16-month battle with cancer, and this is my belt. This is the real meaning of a champion, and that's Natalie. She's my champion. Her name should be on this belt.
I am so happy for Natalie to hear that. Like I've got mine too for my mom right there.
Yes.
My mom had ovarian and breast cancer. So
yes, I know.
Very, very glad to hear that she was able to ring
the bell.
The bell. I'm very happy for that. So congratulations to Natalie. I'm very, very happy for her. You can let her know that I said that.
I will definitely.
And fans, all the stories that Jacques had just talked about, we had talked about in a previous interview that you can hear at youtube.com/perched on the top rope. Jacques, that title is really beautiful. I love the blue leather strap, and I can't wait. I'm gonna have to call my local arcades to make sure that machines get into my area. Now, switching topics off the arcade machines and everything, November 16th, the Wrestling Academy just had its finals. And what a tournament it was this year, Jacques.
It was just absolutely amazingly. I'll tell you, it was our 3rd year, and then we went bigger and bigger every year, and this year it was amazing because a lot of things happened this year, from the haters in the first year to the non-believers in this project to people that thought I was doing this for my own pockets and people doing this for my own prestige and not appreciating exactly the true value of this competition, where it was trying to get local promoters from the East Coast of Canada to meet local promoters from the West Coast of Canada, have talent that never knew the other talent lived and existed, and they all flew into Montreal. I invested a lot of personal money in this. I remember the first year I invested $15,000 in my own pocket, And when people were saying, "Oh, Jacques Rougeau's getting rich with it," I'm saying, "No, no, 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 no! I'm taking my money from my Comic Cons and putting it in there." And then we invested the 15,000 the second year, but the second year we had a lot more Canadians. Like the first year was like 21 Quebecers and 19 Canadians. So we had 21 Quebecers in one province and 19 in the other 9 provinces combined. So there were a lot of non-believers. And the second year we had 11 Quebecers and we had something like 60 Canadians that applied. And this year there was only like 3 Quebecers and there was like all the rest were Canadians from Vancouver. And the word got out that when all those Canadians won and different provinces, and they went back home to go back in their independent leagues, and they were sitting down and they were talking, "Hey, how was that wrestling academy for Rougeau there in Montreal?" Well, a couple of them were saying, "Well, I made $10,000, and I went with QT Marshall to the Nightmare Factory for 3 months, and I went to wrestle with Cody Rhodes, Billy Gunn, and QT Marshall 3 times a week for 3 months." And then they're going, "What? Did it work? Like, did he pay you and this and that?" So this year, all the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, they all came to the tournament, the best of them all. And it was such an amazing tournament. It's going to be on the air probably in a couple of weeks from now. There's already on YouTube one of the quarterfinals. Imagine that the first quarterfinals we had a problem, a technical problem. We didn't get the voiceovers, so we didn't even put it out there. So we readjusted in this new venue. It was a beautiful venue, you'll see. And then we had the second quarterfinals that we finally had a great taping. So that's on YouTube right now, if you go see the Wrestling Academy quarterfinals. And within a day or two, we're going to have the semifinals. But my God, was it amazing, the semifinals. And then came the 16th of November, a week ago. And it was like last Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, last Saturday.
Yeah.
And I've been just doing so much since then. But last Saturday, and then there's these judges by the ring. There was Tony Gattillo, the guy who's the owners of this company that's doing the belt. And then there was my brother Raymond, who was so good in the last few years. And then there was Ronnie Garvin, who was a judge also, the Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin. And they were there judging for the finals. And what a battle. I mean, wait till you see this on YouTube, guys. And I'm telling you this, I had compliments from Ronnie Garvin, from my brother Raymond, from everybody that told me that, and you'll see it in the show, that the last main event match, they were all tremendous, but the last main event match, the triple threat match, my brother Raymond said this could have been a main event in any big league around the world. And I had some people come up to me and say, this is part of the 5 best matches in my whole life I've seen in wrestling. So they had the Giant Orion, and then they had Chad Daniels from Winnipeg, and then there was Jeremy Prophet from Montreal, who'd already won the first Wrestling Academy, and he came back for the finals again for this one, and oh my God, it was. And even in the women's division, like, it's so funny. You have Zandra Lee Zandra Lee from Ontario that came from nowhere 2 years ago, and she just she came out of her shell, and she was awesome. And then there's Zoe Sager, who's who she didn't make it. She got eliminated by relentless Riley Rose from Edmonton. That's amazing. But Zoe Sager, who was eliminated from this tournament, she just got included in the WWE. They're like recruiting now in Canada. She was the first Canadian woman to be this week. So just to show you the talent that we had in Wrestling Academy this year. So Riley Rose and Zandra Lee and the Giant Orion and Jeremy Prophet, they all won $10,000 each, all 4 of them. And we paid them in cash. We had an envelope with $10,000, $100 to $100 bills. And we paid them. So we gave the check, like, a protocol check there that, okay, you got a check in front of everybody. But then when we got to the restaurant after, Natalie and I, we took out 4 envelopes with $100 bills in each of them. And we said, can we talk to you for a second? And brought them back in the corner, and we started going 1, 2, 3. And we counted 100 of them for each of them. And they were just, you got to think of this talent that go work for $100 a night, when they go on the weekends, and now they had $100 bills like that, 100 of them. So for them, it was just amazing. And then I already planned with Big Lucha and Bandidos Gym, because the winners are going this year to Mexico City, and they're going to Japan. So I talked to Sonny Ono and Kyushu Wrestling, so that's going to be done next year during the after. But Mexico is going to be, I think, in February now. I was talking to Israel, and so this tournament has just become so wild and so crazy, and then people have a lot of aspirations as for next year, because I've already put the word out that you'll see it on my last wrestling show when we're doing the TV tapings. I went out and I slipped. I didn't want to say it to commit myself, but I did it. And for the last 3 years we've been doing this in Canada, and next year we're honestly thinking of having 30 competitors again like this year, but we're going to have 10 from Canada. We're going to have 10 from the United States and 10 from Mexico. And it's going to be a wrestling academy is going to be North America. So all the best wrestlers from the indie federations across the states are going to be sending some videos, and I'm going to take the 10 ones that appeal to me to be the best ones. So imagine how the caliber is going to be so big and so strong for next year.
That's going to be a lot of videos coming to you, Jacques.
I know. That's why I'm taking advantage of my vacation now. I'm on vacation now for a couple of months, but I want to make sure that because we invested $25,000 this year in my pocket, so it was $15,000 the first 2 years, and then so that was $30,000 for the first two, and then 25 this year, so I'm up to $55,000 putting in this in my own pocket. But next year, I already promised my girlfriend. I said, listen, I said, we're going to find some sponsors or we're not going to do it. So I'm not going to invest any more of our money, because like I said, we work hard for money, and we do Comic Cons and we do things. And, I do one stand-up shows in Quebec too, like, comedy stand-up shows. But I'm taking all that money and putting it in Wrestling Academy, but we have to find a way. I have to find a way to become a businessman, which I'm not. I'm just a guy that has fun and lives my passion, but it has a price.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't see why finding sponsors for this wouldn't be hard, because you've had, I'd say, really good success since starting Wrestling Academy. And I know I'm for what I absolutely love it. Fans, I'm going to have links in the descriptions where you can actually go either from YouTube or the Wrestling Academy's website, where you can watch the 2022 tournament, the 2023 tournament. And as Jacques said, soon you'll be able to watch the 2024 tournament. And for those 4 winners, Riley Rose, Zandra Lee, the Giant Oren, and Jeremy Barnoff, I'm inviting them onto Perched on the Top Rope.
Wow. That's so amazing. That's so amazing.
Even more exposure.
And when you say Jeremy Barnoff, that's his real name. His wrestling name is Jeremy Prophet. Just so you can scratch that. Yeah, but it's okay. He's Jeremy Barnoff. He's a guy. And you know what's so funny? I gotta tell you something that was really funny. You'll see Jeremy's a warrior. It's incredible. And a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's from Montreal. Sure, he's gonna win." No, you're gonna see he won it. He really won it with the Giant Orion. These two really came out of the lot, and it's so funny because there's so many things I could tell you about Wrestling Academy that are just, they're not even part of the things that I should say, but I got to tell you because I'm speaking with my heart. So we have all these travel plans coming from all over the country, and people sleeping in the day before, flying in the day before, and everything. So I have my 2:00 meetings on the days of the show, and at 2:15, Jeremy Barnoff. Now you got me saying Jeremy Barnoff. Jeremy Prophet. He shows up at 2:15, and at 2:15, he's so funny. He's from Montreal. Everybody else in the whole country's there on time. And Jeremy shows up 15 minutes late. And the funniest thing is he lives 5 minutes from the venue. So it's like, so when he came in at 2:15, I just told everybody, at 2:10, I said, and everybody said, damn, I said, Jeremy's not here yet. He lives far. He lives 5 minutes on foot. So I said, hey, when he comes in, let's give him an ovation. And it was so funny. We had such a good chemistry with everybody in there. So when he walked in, everybody stood up and started applauding Jeremy. And then it was just so funny. But we had what a great group of people and just great talent. And you know what the fun part was is everybody was so cooperative and sending videos all the way up to the last minute challenges doing to each other for every match, and even the losers of the tournament would turn around and just go ahead and shake the hands of the guy the girl who just took $10,000 away from them, and just and being professional. And so it was absolutely, you guys wait till you see the tournament on YouTube or on wrestling-academy.ca. Although it'll be up pretty soon, the whole tournament, and you will see some fine wrestling, some fine Canadian talent.
100%. And I've watched the previous tournaments, and you're in for a treat when you watch Wrestling Academy. So I have to ask though, Jacques, because you brought up having judges, how did the judging work for the tournament?
Well, the judging worked is like they had 5 criteria that they were checking. They were checking, first of all, the wrestling gear, because you got to look the part. And Jesse V will tell you that the first year Jesse V came in, he was a favorite to win it all, but he came in with a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, and QT Marshall eliminated him because he didn't like his gear, but his work was awesome. So anyway, so then he came back the second year and he bought himself a gear and he won the tournament. Just to show you. So the gear meant a lot. So you were judged on your gear, then you were judged on your interview, your promo before going into the ring. You had a 30-second promo to do, and how you come across with your promo, your confidence, and how you look in your promo, how you speak on the microphone. And then there was the interaction with the crowd. Like, how do you get the crowd? How do you interact with the crowd? How do you connect with the crowd? And then there was the ability in the ring, the ability, how good you are in the ring, what you were doing, and the last thing, the most important thing for me was the charisma. If you just some guy, like there's a guy like Wes Barker this year that came in, you'll see him in the tournament, all the way to the end. He sneaked up, he was the underdog, but he had so much charisma, Wes Barker. Same thing as Andra Lee, who won the tournament in the female. She was the underdog, and she came out, but the charisma, you just fall in love with them. You just want to eat them up. You just want to eat their character up. You just connect with them. They're so confident. They're so everything. And then so those were the 5 criteria that the judges were judging on. And so it wasn't easy, I'll tell you. I had a couple of close calls. I'm thinking of AJ Sanchez, who I thought I'm so glad I pulled myself out as a judge, because I didn't want to have any enemies. I didn't want to have that pressure on my shoulder. But there's a few wrestlers out there that I felt they were deserving to keep on going. Like there was Sebastian Wolf, Narcissus Saint, check those names out, AJ Sanchez. Those 3, they should have kept on going. But for, every judge has their own perspective. Like I remember last year, my brother Raymond, that marked me. My brother Raymond, he chose a guy over another guy, and I looked. And when he gave the explanation, because they give the explanation, the wrestlers stand in the ring after the match and they just listen to the critics, before they're chosen or not. And my brother Raymond says, well, this year I picked so-and-so, and my reason was because during the match, he set him up for a superplex off the top rope, and his foot slipped. And when he slipped off, he never lost character. His foot slipped. It slipped, and he just he got mad. He looked at the people and, you shut up. If you think you can do it better than me, you come and do it. And then he just gave a shot to the guy, and he went back up and he gave it to him. And my brother, he was in that position with me sometimes in front of 20,000 people. No matter how good you are, sometimes you could have a bad night or something and you can miss something, but never break character. And it's so important in the big leagues to know how to do that. And just because that guy did that, my brother picked him over the other guy. So what I'm saying, Lee, is every judge has their criteria that they got to go on, but they also have their personal mind and their personal thoughts. So a lot of the judges, sometimes they come up with they just fall in love with their own reasons, for their own reasons. And so that's what made the fun of it, because Eric Young was a judge at the beginning for the first 3 shows, couldn't be there. But Eric Young was he's the biggest production company as far as shows in Quebec, for comedy, for singers, for the biggest production company. So he was a judge. And the reason why I wanted him there is because I want to bring my show to TV, so it was But he sometimes he called some things that I was going like, he's looking at a production standpoint, like, like an entertainment standpoint, not a wrestling standpoint. And Tony Gattilio, he was an old wrestler. He wrestled a little bit, never made it in the big leagues or nothing. He was trained by Gino Brito. But he had the knowledge of wrestling, but he's also an entertainer. For 30 years, he sang like Elvis Presley. So he entertained the people. So he was an entertainer. He knew how to interact with the crowd. So he had his point of view. And then my brother Raymond had his point of views of being the knowledge that he is, in the wrestling business. So the three judges were never judging the same way. So which it made it very difficult for it. It's funny. So I was looking there doing the show. I was animating, like being the host and having fun in between, doing the promos on the stage stuff. But every time the judges would have the last word, and then they'd go ahead and start saying, okay, now I'm doing because of this reason or because of this reason, I'm going to pick this person. I was as attentive as the fans were because I had no idea who it's going to be. And that's what the fun was for me, to see that tournament, to put all this tournament together and not having the last decision or nothing, just being a mark and a fan just looking at it and waiting like all the wrestlers in the ring. Like, hey, at the end, the last show was so amazing. We changed the concept. The last night, there was only 4 matches that counted. There was 2 matches for a woman and 2 matches for men. There was 2 single matches of women, and there was 1 single match for men and 1 3-way triple threat for men. So what we did, and it was Natalie's idea, and it was such a great idea. She came up with that out of nowhere, and she says, why don't you guys let the 2 women's match play, and then only judge after that, so you could pick 2 in the same match. Like, it doesn't have to be like 1 in each match. So we're not cheating the talent that deserve to win. And the same thing for the men. So we watched the 2 matches, the men, and the way we did it is they did the matches. The judges went hiding somewhere for about 10 minutes. And when they came out, they took their seat down, and there was one guy who brought me an envelope. And I had the envelope on the stage in front of it, and I did not know what was in the envelope. So I was so excited. And I was doing it on purpose. I was pulling out the paper just to see, because I had my favorite. Like, I had my favorites, but I was like everybody else in there, and I was pulling it up, and you'll see it on the show. You can't hide it, because Zandra Lee was such a surprise. I thought it was going to be Zoe Sager and Riley Rose, but it was finally Zandra Lee and Riley Rose. So the first one that came out, it was Zandra Lee, and she wasn't even like, I didn't expect her to win. So when I pulled out, I had the sponsor beside me on the stage, the one who gave the $10,000, and I said, well, I want you to read the name. So I started pulling the thing up a little bit, and then I saw Zandra. I said, oh my God, like, holy mackerel. But that was so fun. It was so much fun and painful at the same time, because, the girls are in the ring. The 4 girls are in the ring, and then so they named the first one. And then but I only pulled out the 2 names were in the letter. So I only pulled out up till you could see 1. And then I called the second sponsor on the stage. And then, and you, wait till you see Riley Rose when she wins. She breaks down. She cries, water fountain crying. You could see it from her heart. Her mom was there, and it was like just an amazing. And wait till you see the men. It's so funny because they were so good. All 5 of them were good. One tore a pectoral during the match, Brandon Bright. He showed me the pictures the next day. It was too bad, because Wes Barker, who was the underdog, it takes 2 to tango. So if you got a guy who gets injured in a match, well, the match is not going to be as good. And it's not a good break for the other guy either, because he's restrained. So those 2, by having that injury, those 2 were out almost automatically. With it's too bad for Wes, because he was. So then we were stuck at the last match where we had Jeremy Prophet, Giant Orion, and Chad Daniels. Chad Daniels, I had told him, and he's been there for the 3rd year he was there. He's from Winnipeg. And I told Chad, I said, Chad, when I talked to him, you got to break out of that shell. It's your character that's the one that's your weakling. It's your character. So, and he came out, and wait till you see the match. So we made it so hard because the 3 were so good, and I had no idea who the judges were going to pick. And so the way they did it is they gave me the Giant Orion who pulled out first. And wait till you see the Giant Orion when he wins. He breaks, yeah, yeah, and he goes freaking nuts. But it's amazing. It's just amazing. And then Jeremy Prophet is the hometown boy who really is amazing in that match. He does moves that they don't do in the WWE and AEW. You wait till you see the match. Jeremy Prophet is a prophet. He's like, he's absolutely, I swear to God, he is amazing and in that match. But he wasn't picked the first one. And he was like nervous because Chad was really good. Chad Daniels, he was really good. He was perfection. So it's like, so when I slipped the envelope after the John Orion, I slipped it up, and I was so happy when I saw Jeremy Prophet's name come up. But he was in the ring, nobody knew, and everybody, the 500 people who were in the stands, they were waiting to see who's going to be the next one between the two in the first match or the two others in this match that just passed. So it was like the excitement is just absolutely amazing when you watch the show, Lee. If you're a wrestling fan in any kind of way, you're gonna like the reality show and this wrestling show. Absolutely amazing.
Well, I for one cannot wait to see all the action from the 2024 Wrestling Academy fans. I'm going to have the YouTube link. I'm going to have the Wrestling Academy website link as well, so that you can go watch the previous tournaments as well. Jacques, I am so happy for all the success that you've been having this year. I'm happy for Natalie too. Is there anything that you would like to say to the fans as a close off?
I got 10 more years to live, maybe, and I'm happy in life right now. I'm living a dream. This is the most amazing time of my last 30 years, I think, is right now, is just showcasing all the Canadian talent and bringing a TV show together. It's coming to TV soon, hopefully, and being a creator of reality and wrestling show, and this arcade machine, they're leaving my name now. My name is out there for forever in these machines, and so I'm so happy. If there's only one thing I could say, is thank you to all the supporters. Thank you all to the people who hated me when they had to, and people who booed us when they had to, and you made us that wanted, the promoter wanted us again, but now it's like. If you have a chance, go to your arcade and try to win this beautiful belt, and watch Wrestling Academy, and you can watch it on Perched on the Top Rope, or wrestling-academy.ca, and then YouTube, and just look for Jacques Rougeau's Wrestling Academy, and go watch this 2024, because I guarantee you, and I'm talking to all the wrestlers also in the minor leagues everywhere across the country, just go check this out. You're going to see some amazing talent, and you may have to see them closer than you think, in the next year or so. So take a look at the concept of how it works, and all the airfares are paid, the hotels are paid, and so it's fun. If you just come into Montreal, you'll see La Belle Province, you'll visit Montreal, and we'll take care of your transportation in and out of the building, your food and everything, and it's just a great concept.
It is, and fans will have links for all of that even when the 2025 tournament comes up, so that you can send your video in to get a shot at Wrestling Academy 2025. Jacques, I want to thank you for coming on today and sharing all this wonderful news with us here at Perched on the Top Rope. And again, congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me, and the whole world is watching you, Lee. So I'm sending a word to the whole world, and thank you so much for encouraging us and being there, but especially for taking the time with us today and just listening to all this. This is very exciting for me, and thank you, Lee. Thank you very much.
Oh, the pleasure's been all mine. And fans, remember, spoiler free's the way to be. We're out.